Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the iMPACT review for Thanksgiving. Was this the goose that laid the golden egg show, or was this just a turkey show? Now, I say it's a turkey show. It wasn't that great. They didn't lay a golden egg here. They did not do a great show here. But I can say they did some things in here that I'm actually looking forward to seeing what's going to happen. Now, with the opening of the show, that we got Dixie Carter pretty much talking about, what was it? Winner, winner, turkey dinner. It's not something that has been done before, I guess. Seeing EC3 come out and say, you know what? I am EC3 and I am awesome. And I am the number 1% main eventer that everyone needs. And I called in a great past star who dominated TNA. I was surprised to see that it was Curryman. Now, I'd heard about Curryman, but I'd never seen him. Like I've always said, I haven't seen the product until nearly 2010. So I've never seen Curryman. That was a bit surprising to see. And to see Ethan Carter III, the 1%er, kick his ass very quickly, shows they're really pushing this man. And I am looking very intently on seeing what is going to happen to this entitled man. Now, the second thing I want to talk about when it comes to that first segment is Rockstar Spud. Now, I could have mentioned this first, but I thought I'd mention it second because the Carters were not there very long. They went off on their wonderful, I believe it was a Golf 2 private aircraft to fly home to Memphis, Tennessee. I believe they're in Memphis, and to eat their very Pacific turkey dinner with filet mignon and several other things like caviar and whatever you can think of. I'll say this about Rockstar Spud. He was underutilized. They hadn't done nothing with him. But in this capacity, he could get over. Now, of course, this is a cookie cutter type of thing for a British man, or woman for that matter. Because of how they speak, they're considered posh, they're considered upper class, and they'll be perfect to do something like this. And it's true. Do I agree with it? No, because a lot of times you can do a lot more with someone who's British. But in this case, where the crowd here would accept it. If this was the roles of reverse, that a American, where you wanted like an American badass, someone who would talk so much and either walk the walk or act like a chicken shit, they would do that in England. Someone who was like Easy Rider or something like that. I know that's kind of going a little far, but you get my point. You use what you think is going to work. Do I believe it'll work here? Rockstar Spud may have the charismatic attitude that may work here. He seems to give it off. It may actually work. So being Dixie Carter's secretary may work. I believe it's secretary. I don't remember what it is. Now, throughout the night we saw him, and then we saw the dinner, winner, turkey dinner. I'm going to get this over with. I really wasn't very interested in it. I mean, seeing Velvet Sky with a very low-cut shirt and very big boobs was quite nice. Seeing a Lady Tapper there, which is also very nice, seeing that they are letting her be presented, made me feel like eventually Lady Tapper will get ready. And I will talk about her and Velvet Sky's match later. But when you look at this segment of winner, turkey dinner, and then seeing the fight afterward, it's standard. I mean, the WWE have done it more than a few times, and I'm sure TNA have done it, and I'm not really going to say I enjoyed it. I'm not going to say I've not enjoyed it. It's just what they do. So I'm going to move on from there. Now, the first match of the night, other than EC3 and Curryman. Lady Tapper versus Velvet Sky. I'll say this, and I've said this before. Lady Tapper still seems to be very green. But as long as she's being presented and working with someone, I know people don't like. I've heard heard people say simply, let Lady Tapa just go out there and do the business. Don't let her talk, just let her be destructive. It would work if someone didn't still feel kind of awkward in the ring. Lady Tapa is a big woman. Lady Tapa looked like she could be dominant. But still, I just get this sense that she still hasn't fully come into her own yet. She still seems to be trying to feel herself out. In her movements, in her attitude, when she came out to the ring with Gail Kim, her presenting herself, going, ah, was it not as strong as it normally is. When she first came out the very first time and presented herself on TNA, the first time she going, ah, like that, you know what? That actually was good for her. But when she came out this time, we didn't get that. We got a little tiny one. I don't know if she was a little nervous. I don't think so. But I just have the sense that she, in a sense, is like a Ryback character when he first started getting over. When he started doing the feed me more, that kind of thing, Lady Tapa could get over going, ah! Like that. I know this is kind of like, dude, you're imitating her. I know, so this is what a wrestling fan does. They imitate someone they like. And Lady Tapa could get over with that. But she just seems to be a little timid sometimes. Maybe she's thinking about something or overthinking something. This is what I'm getting from her. She didn't do 100% bad in the match, even though she did seem a little botchy. And it was good to see that she won clean. I do think that during the fight in the ring with that winner turkey dinner, that when ODB got her and she got her face smashed into some food and got hit in the back, I felt she should have been more dominant over ODB. ODB should have never gotten over on her. She should never did it. But at least in this respect, I'm glad, but I'm not happy at the outcome at the end of the show. Now, we're moving on to the Turkey Bowl 2013. That again, Eric Young found two idiots to be a part of his turkey dressing up as a turkey. Now, seeing that 4 jobbers were in the ring, bromance with now a tag along of Zima Ion as their DJ, which actually, I just get this feeling it may work. I'm not a bromance fan. No, I don't even want them to have the titles. Give them to Bad Influence, ladies and gentlemen. TNA, please give it to them. But seeing Zima Ion with them as their personal DJ actually kind of makes sense. But to be honest, I do not want them to have the titles. But what surprised me when we see Barnes and Burns together, Stewie Barnes and Norman Burns, if I'm pronouncing their name properly, I was very interested that they were in this match. I was interested when they lost the match. I was interested to see them dancing around in the ring in those turkey costumes and make bromance look stupid. I'm glad that TNA is keeping these two. They could do something very interesting with them. I'm glad they've been hired. I hope they've been hired. If they have been hired, I am happy. But seeing this made me feel like the wrong team lost, but actually did win in the end. So I'm going to call Stewie Barnes and Norman Burns the B team, ladies and gentlemen. I'm calling them the B team because they may not be A's, but they are the B to me. I had to come up with something with these guys. B team sounds like the best. Now, the 4-on-4 elimination match with Bad Influence and Robert Roode with really Saban and Tagalong versus Storm and Gunner, who still have a conflict, Magnus and Angle. I had this feeling that Angle was going to be the last one there. And I was right. He was. But the persons that were the most spotlighted here was Gunner and Magnus. More Magnus than Gunner, obviously. But I'm glad they were spotlighted. These are the future, and we need to do something with TNA's future. So in the end, there was no winner. Well, I know there was a winner. I know it was all the bad guys who won. But essentially, there was no winner because of DQ. This kind of just promotes what's going on with Angle and with Robert Roode. Am I bored with it? No. I'm hoping that at a signature pay-per-view, Robert Roode will get a much better win than he did before. Maybe at Genesis. Maybe they'll have something that'll be a blow-off at Genesis. Unless they're going to be stupid enough to continue doing this road to redemption for Kurt Angle, which I believe they are. I kind of wish it wasn't Robert Roode who would do the job here. I'll be glad if I'm wrong and Robert Roode is not going to do a job for Kurt Angle at Genesis because they're trying to make Angle do a redemption angle like a Jeff Hardy. And instead of saying, look, I was a drinker, I made a mistake, I want to rebuild my life, I want to prove to everyone that I can do it, they're just saying, I just want to prove because I haven't met up to expectations. They're just hiding the fact he was a damn alcoholic. And this kind of goes into the eulogy and the burial of Aces of 8. The reason I left this for last was because I just want to see Aces and 8s gone. And in a sense, it's still not over. Seeing the eulogy from Eric Young, from Kurt Angle, from Mike TNA, who got how he got Brooks' pant shorts and then hides them in his jacket. I would rather have the woman than the panties, dude. Give me the woman. You can keep the panties. I don't know what to call it, man. This is the reason why I left it last, because this was like, it just, I don't know what to call it, man. It wasn't that good. Seeing Joe eating a kind of like a cocktail thing because Brooke Hogan sent it, because they gave a hint of it, I just don't feel like it was that great. It was kind of silly, yes. And that's the purpose of it, to make it silly. But it wasn't silly that it was really damn funny. It just wasn't to me personally. And I felt while this is going on, someone's got to show up. And I was right. It was Bully Ray. And he says to Anderson, you better keep one eye open because this is not over. I'm going to make sure you pay for this and that your pregnant wife is going to suffer for it. You watch and see. Coming in with a sweatshirt and some glasses like it matters. They should have dropped this with him. Let Bully Ray go away for a couple of months. Then bring him back doing something else. Doing this, does this mean this is going to be a good continuing feud between these two? No. I just don't feel like it's going to really be good unless they do some type of very weird angle in the next couple of weeks to the next month between Mr. Anderson and Bully Ray. This is going to get very tiring very fast. It would have been better to just blow this off and have them go to separate ways and let Bully Ray go away for a couple of months to really to let it go away from everybody. But that's not going to happen. How do I rate this show? Wasn't that great? I'll give it a B-. I am really glad to see Rockstar Spud doing something. Do I feel like this is like a cookie cutter thing for someone from another country to do something that really kind of what the perception of Americans believe? Yes, that's what I see. But it doesn't mean it can still get over and that Rockstar Spud cannot get over. Seeing Lady Tapper having her first official match. Still seeing a little botchy and a little awkward in the ring. But this is the beginning for her. And I'm truly hoping this works out. And seeing the 4-on-4 wasn't a bad match. But this is still about Roode, and this is still about Kurt Angle. And when it comes to Storm and Gutter, they're still doing tension, but I still can't tell who's going to turn heel. Is it going to be Gunner, or is it going to be Storm? I'm still interested in seeing what's going to happen. So I hope you enjoyed the Zane's View. Subscribe and comment to my channel. I'm still a little tired from all the food I ate last night. I don't drink, but I ate a lot. And I'm gonna be eating more in the next couple of minutes once I turn this camera off. I still got food left over from my family, and I noticed that my family, I'll give it to you like this. I hadn't seen members of my family in years. Dude, you think I look young for my age? I got relatives older than me that still look young as me. In their 50s, in their 60s. They look at least as young as me or younger. See ya!